Hi everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're ready for a double watch-along tonight, in fact, because Arsenal have been playing for 21 minutes, as you can see on the screen, but we're here actually for more. I'm here more to watch Aston Villa play Newcastle, to be honest, but we have got Arsenal versus Forest on, so we may as well keep our eye on that for the moment, as Arsenal are dominating Nottingham Forest here. It's still 0-0 as it stands, but as you can see, no shots or anything on target for either side, but Arsenal are certainly dominating the possession with 31% here so far. I'll be updating with the percent, 71% possession so far. That's all I'm going to update you on all evening. I'm just going to tell you percentage score. I'm not really. I'm just about to start the stats carousel going round for you there. You can see the Forest news. That's on there for you. Let me unpublish that. Why are you here? And the top 10 for you as well. And we will obviously give you the Villa team news as that goes round the screen as well. Martinelli with the cross, and that's just gone wide. Let me get the Villa teams on the screen for you as well, and the Newcastle teams. I hope you've all remembered to do your Fantasy Premier League. I'm still playing Fantasy Premier League in virtually February. That is a first, so I must be doing quite well, and I've bought Kevin De Bruyne into my team this week, so there we go. As you can see, there's the top of the league at the moment. Liverpool are 5 points clear. Arsenal have actually got a point extra there because it's as it stands, but they've got a corner here, Arsenal. Welcome everybody. Can I just say we are on the road to 1.1 million. We are actually right here, right now, very excitingly, only 100 away from 99,000. So 99, 100. We'll be on 1.1 million. So please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and share the video. Let's see if we can hit that tonight. We probably won't hit 1.1, but we can certainly hit 99,000. So subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Arsenal have just wasted a corner there. I'm just going to go through both teams' team news for you because there's a lot of games going on tonight, as I'm sure you're aware. The Premier League is back, baby. It's back. And I'm bloody excited about that. I'll tell you that for free. But the Martinelli on the left-hand side there. But the Arsenal side for you tonight consists of Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Smith Rowe, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. Havertz is actually on the bench and Smith Rowe comes in. So there we go. No starting place for him. Nottingham Forest have lined up with Turner, Montiel, Ahmad Biamdiali, Santiago, Toffolo, Danilo, Mangala, Williams, Gibbs-White, Dominguez, and Wood. I've got a bit of wood, as Deitch would say. So Arsenal have got a chance to whip a cross into the box here. I've got Gabriel in my team, actually, in Goldbridge on the podcast. If you know, you know. So if he was to score, I'll get 3 fucking points. I could do with a bit of Gabriel scoring tonight. Luton are 2-0 up against Brighton after 7 minutes. What's going on? What's going on? I can't speak. Adebayor and Ogbeni, 3 minutes and first and 1 minute. Brighton are 2-0 down to Luton in the first 7 minutes. What's going on in the Premier League? And the Brighton team that's out playing is pretty decent. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. He might be making some subs there, I tell you. What a start. What a start for Luton. 2-0 up already. Go on, Luton, says Philip Sutton, who's one of our members. Thank you very much, Philip, for joining the members club, by the way. I know you've been a member for a while. If you want to get a badge in, you can do that by clicking the join button and supporting the channel. Glad to relax with several beers after uni work, says Daniel. You know, I nearly said something else that So anyway, let me get that right. Daniel says, glad to relax with several beers after uni work. I mixed the word up beers with something else that rhymes with beers and thought he was up to something else. Nathaniel says, Ivan Schwafkov tweeted Pep to manage Liverpool wild. And Daniel's been a member for 21 months and says, come on, Villa. And Kieran says, have to say, as an Arsenal fan, did get worried when saw Mikel news yesterday, but always had a feeling it was fake. No way Mikel would ditch us. As he confirms that now, Kieran, I'm not too sure. We've got a corner for Arsenal here anyway. But Luton on the charge. I remember listening to their chairman probably about October time on the radio, and he said, we've got a plan in place and we believe we'll start picking points up after Christmas and stay up. And I thought, he sounds very confident. He could be very, very right. He could be very, very right. Ready for this tonight. I'm ready for this tonight. Well, Arsenal have got to win. Remember the massive game coming up on Sunday. Arsenal entertain Liverpool. But if Arsenal want to be in a title race, they've got to win games like this. Of course they have. Hi Golders, says it's your boy Cove. Good run by Saka. Cuts it back to Odegaard. Gets it back. Bit too much. See, this is my problem with Jesus. I think he's too delicate. I think he wants to play the little intricate passes sometimes. James says, can we have a poll? Any ideas? Yeah. I'll do one straight away that's very Arsenal specific. You know, I've got polls coming out my ears. Here we go. We've got Havertz or Smith Rowe. Who would you prefer, or who do you think's better? Get in the chat. Havertz on the bench, Smith Rowe starting today. Here's Saka on the right-hand side, as per. Nice little ball in. The Newcastle and Aston Villa team news is going around the screen, but for my benefit, I can't read that. It's too small. So, Martinez in goal. Matty Cash, Konza, Longley, Marino, McGinn, Kamara, Douglas Luiz and Tillemans, and Diaby and Watkins. I mean, their home form is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think this is going to be a cracker between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Remember, Newcastle, we're replicating the opening day fixtures, aren't we? That's what we're doing. And obviously, Newcastle battered them last year. So, on the opening day last year. Dubravka, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Byrne, Miley, Gameres, Longstaff, Murphy, Isaac and Gordon. Almiron's on the bench and apparently he's staying, but they don't really have anything else on the bench again. Hearns, White, Almiron, Livramento, Hall, Karius, Kraft, Ritchie and Dummett. I think this is going to... Look, don't write Newcastle off. They got a very good result at the weekend against Fulham, but if they can get something at Villa Park, I would be surprised. And look at what a win for Villa would do, 46 points. So, big game. United have got Villa coming up very soon as well at Villa Park. So, shot over the bar there from Smith Rowe. Which Arsenal player would you most like at United, says NZ Meta. And Rashford reminds me of R. Kelly, says Umzi. Okay, moving from that one. Which player would I take from Arsenal? I'd still be very tempted to take Declan Rice. I still think Man United need another midfielder of that ilk, and I'd still be very tempted. Look, I'd like Saliba as well. I'd like Saka as well. United do need another striker, but there's nobody at Arsenal I'd want. I wouldn't want Jesus or Nketiah. So I think I'd take Declan Rice. Yeah, I really do think United need another midfielder of that type. So I think I'd take Rice. But I'd understand anybody who took Saka or Saliba as well. Yeah. What about Raya? I do like Raya. I do like Raya, Gary. Good question. Look, it's not surprising that there's probably 5 or 6 players you take from Arsenal if you're a United fan, because Arsenal over the last 18 months have been better than Manchester United. And to do that, the reason they've done that is they've got some good players, but they also play as a team. That's a nice little ball. Oh, good defending. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I thought it was Amazon Prime week, actually. I was a little bit disappointed. I thought this was Amazon Prime week where everything's on the telly. Sorry, I don't know whether... Is there going to be another Amazon Prime week, or have we had them all now? Basically, Amazon Prime week in the UK means every Premier League game is streamed. And I thought that was what's going to happen, but it's not. This is on TNT tonight. And So is the Chelsea. So is the Villa Newcastle game. We've had them all now, so Stuart, there you go. Abyaz says, it's a Brighton shit show, and that is all. It is. Well, I've got Esteban in my team. I'm trying to remember, because we did. If you watch the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football, you're an absolute legend. Basically, you're intelligent if you do. But we played Goldbridge, and I've forgotten what I put down as my goal scorers. Oh yeah, I've got Eze to score against Sheffield United, Watkins to score against Newcastle. I've got De Bruyne against Burnley, Richarlison against Brentford, Rasmus against Wolves, and then I've got clean sheet for Onana and a Gabriel defender. So there we go. I'm quite happy with my fantasy Premier League team, apart from I've got Esteban in it. I think that's a problem. We could do with some goals from him now. Sheffield United have scored already as well. Bloody hell, it's all going off. Sheffield United are away to Crystal Palace and they've scored after 1 minute. Luton were 2-0 up after 5 minutes against Brighton. What's going on? What? Who do they think they are? Who do they think they are? Palestri to Granada, here we go. It's not a surprise. Would you have considered Chris Wood at United, as he's now scored more Premier League goals than this year than all United's attackers combined, says NZ Meta. I love these sort of questions. Keep them coming in. It doesn't matter how many goals Chris Wood scored for Nottingham Forest because you don't get any service at Manchester United. So you can't magic service if you play up front for Man United. It doesn't matter whether you've got Haaland, Højlund or Santa Claus. There's no service. So you don't get to score goals. And Chris Wood would be a complete waste of time at Man United because he absolutely relies on crosses. You see more crosses in bloody Dracula's coffin than you will see in a Man United game. Forest player's just gone down here with an injured arm. Ardut says it's criminal what you guys pay to watch football in the UK. In India, we get to watch all the games for the equivalent of $8.99 a year. We don't even get all the games, mate. You've got a TNT subscription, you've got a Sky subscription, you've got an Amazon Prime subscription, and you still don't get all the games when you pay for all of that. Exclusive Gem says the Arsenal game's a bit boring, Mark. That's why I'm watching Newcastle against Newcastle against Villa when it comes on, because that game's going to be brilliant. The best game I've seen this season was Villa against Man City. Absolutely dominated them at Villa Park. Yeah, Mikhail did say news wasn't true in an interview before the match, says Kieran. There you go. Good news for you then. Rashford needs to retire, says Umzi. I love him. At United. Must win for Villa today. If we don't win today, I'll worry about us getting Champions League, says the HPN. And Hi Mark says Harvard Egg. Hi Mark, who do you think is the perfect sporting director for Liverpool? Edwards is not possible. It is rumoured about the Bournemouth, Brentford and the person in West Ham. Any suggestions? Why are you looking for a sporting director? Have you not had one for a while then? I don't know how it works at Liverpool, but there are a few out there. I mean, Man United are looking at Ashworth and Mitchell. There's another guy at, is it Berta, who's very good as well. Interesting selection of players at the game here. You've got Robert Perez. Is that Karambu as well? I don't know why. Why would he be at Nottingham Forest? That is Karambu, isn't it? He played for Middlesbrough, didn't he? Didn't play for Arsenal. Milner's gone off injured as well. Julian Ward's a name that's been mentioned a lot. I think United have been linked to him as well, has. George says, this Luton game is just another example as to why the Premier League is on top globally. And Tony Adams said, that was from George. And Messiah says, Tony Adams says he's ready to sub in for Arteta. What do you think of Binder at United? Says Barrett. I mean, he's a backup goalie, isn't he? I don't think he's going to get a run in the team. Are you going to switch over to the other game when it starts, mate? Says Frederick. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on both. I can keep an eye on both, but this will be hitting half time at roughly the same time that game starts. So, but no, the featured game is going to be Aston Villa versus Newcastle. Yeah, that's the one I want to watch. Pellistri's gone on loan. Yeah, thank you. Top 3 games of the season so far, says Jace. Well, I certainly think Villa against Man City was, I know it was only 1-0, but they dominated them for possession and chances. I thought they were fantastic. I thought the Chelsea-Man City game at Stamford Bridge was very, very good. And the third game, I think for pure emotion and drama and stupidity and disbelief, was probably Spurs-Chelsea. That was another one, wasn't it? Unfortunately, no United games. Laid off. Here we go. No. I thought Arsenal were going to score then. Love you, Marky. Looking cute today, says Sentry. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. What's your favourite air-up flavour? I'm quite enjoying this one at the moment. It's lavender and lemon. Remember to use the code Goldbridge. I think it still works. What about Liverpool-Newcastle with the Nunez comeback? That was a good game as well, Connor. I mean, you're asking me off the top of my head. That was a good game, yeah. Villa did school Man City, Shirley. But yeah, that Liverpool-Newcastle was very good. That game was very good. I mean, the save from Alisson at 2-1. You know, Liverpool don't win that game if it's not for that. Please do subscribe. We're only 100 away from 99,000. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're all very, very welcome, of course. There are other Premier League games going on at the moment. It's still 2-0 to Luton at home to Brighton. And it's still 1-0 to Sheffield United away to Crystal Palace. 0-0 between Fulham and Everton. And obviously 0-0 here. And we're waiting for Aston Villa against Newcastle to start, which starts in 5 minutes' time. I'm going to end that poll. Smith Rowe, 63%. Havertz, 37%. I think Newcastle need to get something. Somebody just said, can Newcastle get something, Electrics? They need to get something. Oh, Forrester on the attack here. It's over the bar. It's over the Denver. Not a great shot. Dan Lamar says, Chelsea fan here. How much of a boost do you think Callum Wilson would give us until the end of the season? I think Callum Wilson's a very big risk, mate, and I think Newcastle are looking for a fee. So, but he's probably a better bet up front than Jackson, isn't he? And it gives you a little bit. I mean, I think Chelsea probably were looking to offload Broha. in this January transfer window and then bring somebody else in. But even Chelsea have not really been able to impact this transfer window, have they? Relegation teams are on top tonight. They certainly are. Sheffield United winning at Palace and, of course, Luton 2-0 up against Brighton. They're good at home, though, Luton. We've got to go there. United have got to go there. Red card for Luton, somebody just said there. I don't know how true that is. Cross comes in from Arsenal, headed away. I haven't seen anything about a red card for Luton, but we'll wait and see. What you were thinking is what you were thinking is for later, Marky boy, says Daniel. I don't know. Who would want Brohurst's fire up? Well, I think clubs would want him, but not for 50 million quid. No red card. Here's Martinelli. I think, you know what? Every time I watch Arsenal, I think, you know, take Jesus out the team and put a striker in it. You know, even that cross from Zinchenko there. That cross from Zinchenko there is a striker's dream. Oliver Burton is a member. Welcome to the Members Club, mate. You're an absolute legend. Thanks for supporting the channel and get your badge in. Thank you very much for that, Oliver. Yeah, you know, Ivan Toney, Rasmus Højlund, just Harry Kane. Just put a striker in this Arsenal team and they'll go up a level. The movement's just not there. Is it? They don't have that shark in the box. Declan Rice with the cross. Odegaard. Gabriel wins it back and is given a foul. I'm going to pop over to the Newcastle game very, very quickly because that's what we're here for. They're just coming out onto the pitch at the moment. Oh, that's good. Up and down. Easy. Oh, I like it. I like it when you can do that. Yeah. Good. Yeah, they're not quite ready to go. Who's been the United's best player of the season, says Nathan. Oh, God. Just do it in a raffle, I say. It's probably, to be honest, it's probably between the three players that are the future of this football club, I think. Rasmus, Garnacho and Mainu. I mean, don't forget, Rasmus is still joint top scorer in the Champions League as well. If United lose their next 3 games, are you Ten Hag out, says Yash. It won't matter. It won't matter whether I'm Ten Hag out or not. He'll be gone, mate. You know, they have 3 very, very big games. Right, they've got a good break on here. Oh, Smith Rowe, you need to get that at your feet. Saka. I think Forest have got their men back now, and the cross isn't good enough. Good pass by Rice, though. Here will come the cross. They won't get anyone on the end of it because they haven't got someone good enough to get on the end of it. Mark, what do you think of Lucas Bergvall going to Barca, not United? 2 talented midfielders, says Willie. I don't really think anything of it, if I'm being honest. And can you do a poll, Watkins or Isaac, says Callum. I can do, and we're going to flip over onto that game right now as well. Let me just do this poll, and we're heading over. Watkins, Isaac. Get voting. Okay, right. I'm going down to Villa against Newcastle. And they have started the game there, so apologies, everybody. What? No. That's what we want to do. Getting confused here. I think this is going to be an absolute cracker, by the way. I really do. And, okay. And I want to start it. And we are 1 minute and 40 in already. Say to 58, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. There we go. We're good. We're good. Arsenal versus Liverpool predictions. Way too early to be asking me that, Mocker. I think Liverpool will win, though. And Bart says, start bench sell, Modric, Kroos, Kimmich. I'll bench, you bastard. This is a tough one. I'll start Kimmich. I'll sell Kroos and I'll bench Modric on form right now. Palace have equalised, by the way. What do you think of Euro currency, says Kenneth? I'm indifferent to it. It does its job. I need to change the team names as well. You're right. Thank you, everybody. You're almost like my little producers. Live score and publish. And there we go. Perfection. Perfection. We're going for perfection. And I'm going to get the live stats for this game and remove them for that game for now. There we go. This Newcastle Villa game is going to be very, very fast paced. If I know football like I think I know football, yes. Who's the best current American player, says Sully? Is it Muzza who plays in the midfield? I really like him. The left back's good, who plays for Fulham. Am I missing somebody obvious? I feel like I'm missing somebody obvious. Ezzy scored! Fucking get in! No, at least he's assist. Ezzy scored. Ezzy scored. Oh, shut up, Will. Shut up, Will. If you're listening to the podcast today, I said I'm going to be going outside the box for my picks. And I said Ezzy, Crystal Palace. And he went, ooh. Like it was a stupid choice. 17 minutes. Vindicated. Vindicated. I wish I'd put him in my FPL team, though. That would have been more helpful, but I didn't. In Goldbridge, he's in. Pulisic is the best player. Yeah, he probably is, to be honest. Isak's beating Watkins. We did this a couple of weeks ago, and Watkins won. Newcastle got a free kick here. Cross comes in, headed away. I mean, somebody tell me Aston Villa's record at home. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Like they haven't. I don't think they've been beaten at home for ages. I've just messaged Will from the podcast. Oh, I've kept it very simple. 3 letters and 1 character. EZE exclamation mark. That'll ruin his evening. He's very competitive. Sheffield Wednesday are back in front. Good, because that'll get Ezzy even more angry. And he'll score again. What a game. What a game. It's 0-0 between Arsenal and Forest at half-time, by the way. We were watching that briefly. But it's a bit of a shit game, to be honest. Yeah, 81% possession for Arsenal, but they've got nothing up front. Got nothing up top. A bit like John Terry in an IQ test. It's always John Terry, isn't it? 5 corners, no goals. I mean, look, Arsenal need a fucking striker. They need a striker. Will you play by City with Michael next year, says Umzil. Is he back in it? Hi, Mark. Will United keep Mainu or cash in on him? We're going to keep him, Nathan. It's part of the future. Hi, Mark. Can you call Tom Devon a farmer? Thanks much. I can't call him a gay farmer, Jamie, because that could be perceived to be homophobic. You can call him that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to call him a farmer. When's win, lose or draw, mate? It's out on Thursday, but I might put it out tomorrow because we did predict this midweek fixtures as well. So we might do that. Let him speak, Simon, says Lee. Right. It's all going off at the moment. Thoroughly enjoying it. Please do subscribe, by the way. I'm going to push this tonight because we want to get to 1.1 million. And we're nearly at 99,000. But the Villa-Newcastle game is infinitely more... After 7 minutes, it's been better than the Arsenal-Forest game after 45. Cracking game. Slightly misty at Villa Park. We don't mind that. Ladios says it pains his bones seeing Manchester United 8th on that table. We've got to start winning some games, actually. I mean, I don't even really know at the moment what's the best result for United today. We're 8th with 32. Brighton losing, actually, would be a good result for us. West Ham losing would be good. Yeah, it's Spurs and... We're never going to get... I don't think we're even going to get top 5. I can't see us catching Spurs. You need Spurs and Villa to drop points because I can't see Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City dropping points. Newcastle have started off quite well in this game. But you've also got to look behind you. Look at Chelsea. Look at Newcastle. Chelsea playing Liverpool tomorrow. Probably lose. Tottenham home to Brentford. Probably win. West Ham home to Bournemouth, probably win, and then they're playing United at the weekend. Which supportive winger would you currently take, says NZ? I'd need some scout reports on players on that. That's not my job to scout wingers. You know, in the Premier League, he's never going to come to United, but what Eddie Howe's done with Gordon, he's a good mixture of what you want in a winger. In fact, both of them are, Almiron and Gordon. They do a good job. They can pop up with goals, but they're also looking to be creative, which is what you want your wingers to do. Here is Gordon at the moment. Newcastle have started on top here. Villa are going to have to graft this out. Yeah, he is with Franklin and Trevor, says Umzi. Good, good. Should we all say De Zerbi out, says King. And are you going to do a Super Bowl watch-along? And who do you have winning? Oh, fucking hell. I love doing my Super Bowl watch-along. If you want to join me for it, it's a week on Sunday night. Into the early hours. I love doing the Super Bowl watch-along. I order in a load of American sweets, and it's a great event. I absolutely can't wait to do it. It's just a weird stream with a few thousand people where it's just early hours of a Monday morning, and I love doing it. But I can't stand the Chiefs, and they're going to bloody win. I wanted the Buffaloes to beat them. I wanted the Ravens to beat them. And I don't think the 49ers will beat them, and I never did. So I think we're going to be watching the Chiefs win again. Either or, John McGinn or Bruno G, says Bart. I will do that one for you because Isaac has beaten Watkins by 55% to 45%. But at this moment, Newcastle are the team in the ascendancy here. Lovely ball over the top, and Isaac can't take it down. McGinn or Bruno G. Look at Wolves, though. Passes with a win on Thursday, says Thomas. I know. I know. I am Mike. Welcome to the members club. We're not worthy. Thank you for supporting the channel, mate, and getting your badge in the chat. Absolute legends. Thank you very much. What was I going to say? Yes, I know what I was going to say. I will come back to that in a moment. Thanks everyone who's tuned into the podcast, the new episode today, by the way. It's bloody rocketing. It's going to be our best listened podcast of the year so far, I think. Goldbridge Saves Football. Check it out on Spotify and on iTunes. Really good episode today. Some good non-football stories in there that sort of worked as well. I think my favourite one was probably the one about the disco. Yeah. If you know, you know. White trainers and a denim shirt. That was the height of fashion when I used to go to discos at school. Used to wear matching jean shirt. So you'd have jeans on and then a jean shirt. I don't see them anymore. Bam, 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 bam. Double denim. That's what it's called, grumpy old hecklers. Yeah. And you know what? I could pull it off. I think if I wore double denim now, I'd be sending a message I don't really want to send. Double denim in 2024 as a man of my age with white trainers. It's not saying what I was trying to say when I was 9 at a school disco. When I'm wearing double denim and a white pair of trainers at a primary school disco when I was 9-year-old, I'm saying I'm a man. I've got moves. Put a bit of Rick Astley on and careful you don't slip on the gel flopping off my hair. If I'm in a club now wearing double denim and white trainers, it's going to be a certain type of club. It's 3-0 to Luton. It's 3-0 to Luton. They're absolutely battering Brighton here. What's going on? What is going on? I mean, that is all I've got to say. Newcastle are probably going to win tonight because it's just that's the sort of way it's going. I mean, it's just mad. It is 2-2 between 2-2. And he's there! He's done it again! He's done it again! Easy! 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 Get in! Oh, you know what? If you listen to the podcast, you'll know why I'm celebrating. Goldbridge Saves Football. We play a game called Goldbridge. You have to pick 5 scorers from the Premier League week. And I said, I'm feeling edgy. I'm feeling hipster. I'm going to go Ezzy to score. He's not even a bloody striker. And I said Ezzy. And Will went, condescending Will went, 2 fucking goals already. Oh, get in. That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Luton winning 3-0 as well. Absolutely fantastic. The podcast ultras, they know Goldbridge Saves Football. Make sure you give it a listen. Absolutely fantastic. Love that. The reason I'm enjoying it is because the forfeit for me or Will if we lose will go viral in May. It's not a forfeit either of us want. Because the other one will be there with a camera phone filming it and putting it on our socials and you'll be laughing. It's going to be brilliant. But I'm not home and hosed yet. This is amazing for Luton. It's just great to have the Premier League back. Goldbridge has got Ezzy with 2 goals. Luton are beating Brighton 3-0. We've got 4 goals at Crystal Palace already. What a start. No goals between Forest and Arsenal, by the way. What's going on? What's going on? Magnificent. And also, Newcastle have started off very, very, very well here. Very, very, very well. They've started off very, very well against Aston Villa. In fact, I'd go as far as to say they're the better team so far. I'm going to come back to that either or in a moment. Somebody stop me. Ding, 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 ding. Would be nice if there was a standardised height and placement for the TV cameras. Some games like Luton have weird angles, says Marcus. Favourite football movie? My contenders would be Damned United, United with David Tennant, and Bend It Like Beckham. Could do a poll on it, says Ross. Bend It Like Beckham, is that the one with Jack Grealish in it? I don't think I've ever really watched it. Have you ever been to Northampton, says DA? I did. I had trials with Northampton Town. I could have been a Northampton Town legend. They just didn't take me on. And Rubble says, have you ever been scammed for something ridiculous that it gets your goat just talking about it? No, not really. Look, it's not fair to say it, but I think there's been situations where the next morning you look at it and go, that's not what it looked like last night, but too late. Connor says, would you ever venture away from football and pursue channel content podcasting away from football? I'd like to, Connor, but I don't get the time. I am doing a Chelsea watch-along tomorrow. And what do you think about the news from today that the referees have to explain to the public about their decisions during the games from next season? Will this help? Yeah, I think it'd be brilliant. Good cross. Blocked by Newcastle. First real chance there. Matt Stonehouse, thank you very much for your super chat. Taylor Swift for the win, says Ash. And we're doing Bruno Guimaraes is beating John McGinn by quite a lot at the moment. Villa just starting to get going a little bit here after a bit of a slow start for them. And that you can only really credit Newcastle for that because they've started off very, very well here. We've got a great night of football action going on at the moment. There's no doubt about that. And if you are doubting it, you're a twat. 3-0 to Luton. 2-2 between Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. 0-0 between Fulham and Everton. That's a bit of a bore. And 0-0 between Forest and Arsenal, although they have kicked off for the second half. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on there. But the Villa against Newcastle game is certainly better from what we saw in the first half between Forest and Arsenal, which is basically defence against blunt attack. Forest defending for their lives at home and counter-attacking, and Arsenal having lots of ball but no penetration. Which is the last thing you want. Bruno G has beaten John McGinn 68% to 32%. Thank you. Is Arsenal going to win, Mark? I need to know, says Matt. I think you will win. It's about getting that bloody goal, though, isn't it? Thanks, everyone who's subscribing. We're only 80 away from 99,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content. The best football content with the best football community. Lovely ball over the top. This could be his moment. It's Gordon. He's done so well. And it's a big save by Martinez, but it's still alive. I thought that was going to be the moment, and Isaac whips it. That was a big chance for Newcastle. I don't care what you say. That was a big chance. It's that ball over the top. It's that Aston Villa high line, and this did for them at St James's Park, and it's doing for them a little bit here. Ball over the top. They're vulnerable to it. I'd fancy United if we can get Rashford firing at Villa Park in a couple of weeks. That might be harder than it sounds. I'm just going to have a quick look at my fancy Premier League team. Hope you're all doing shit. When it comes to this, I'm very competitive. I've got playing tonight, Matthew, Saliba and Saka and Watkins and Gordon. Why have I put Gordon in? If I'd have known I put Gordon in, I want him to bloody score then. I haven't got a Newcastle defender. Or... see, if I'd known I had Gordon in my fantasy Premier League team, he'd have scored then because I'd have given him all the positive vibes. Bloody hell. So I've got Areola, Perro, Saliba, Estebanan, De Bruyne, Garnacho, Saka, Gordon, Watkins, Haaland and Tony. Palmer on the bench. Could work. Could work. Could be something. But I have got Eze in my Goldbridge game that we do on the podcast, and that is what matters. I can't remember what Will's got. I need to go and check. If anyone wants to write down, well, no, I'm being lazy. I'll do it myself. I can do it. I can do it. Basically, what happens is you have to pick 5 goal scorers from the week and you get a point for every goal they score. You pick a defender from the week to score and they get 3 points if they score, and you get a clean sheet for a goalkeeper. And Ezzy's got 2 goals, so I've got 2 points. Quick maths. Quick maths. Luton are 3-0 up. They're not 4-0 up. They're 3-0 up. It's half time and they're 3-0 up. It's not 4-0. It's 3-0. Still got a few minutes to go in the Crystal Palace game because they kicked off at 8 o'clock. Lots of different kickoff times. But as you can see on the stats carousel, which is sponsored by OneFootball, you can download it for free. Do it. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. As you can see at the moment, 50-50 possession between Villa and Newcastle, but Newcastle the more dangerous team. 2 shots, 1 on target. Villa yet to have a shot at all. So Newcastle the more impressive team here against an Aston Villa side, which most of us predicted would win. I've just completely wandered off into a different thought. Sorry. What do you think of Diaby, says Jake? I mean, he's a typical sort of winger. Typical sort of winger, isn't he? I like him as a signing. Did Brighton overperform last season, or are they underperforming this one, says Asherman? I think Brighton are a funny side. I really do. I think that they're very unpredictable. If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring 3 items from where you are sitting right now, what would they be? Well, my water container would be one. My phone would be another. And probably a notepad with a pen. I mean, I'm going to be very depressed when that ink runs out, though. Imagine that. What are you going to do when the ink runs out? Wake up, Simon, says Zetty. Ezzy with 2 goals. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's great. It's super smashing great. I paused it, didn't I? Did I pause? No, I didn't pause it. You've still got it. What's going on? Is it working? Yeah. Still going round. Great. Ease are good. Ease are good. He's Ebenezer good for Goldbridge ball, says Lee. I'll use that on Friday. Yeah, Villa have been a bit toothless so far. Bit flat. Yeah. I'm not sure why. Played quite well in the FA Cup at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. But been a little bit flat here. They're on the attack, though. Nice ball into Moreno. Newcastle, as always, defending well. I think it's going to be very difficult, isn't it, for Aston Villa to maintain a title charge, and they just look a little bit flat to me today. But they're in the box with Matty Cash. Wanted a handball, not going to get it, and then shoot straight at the keeper. Still 2-2 between Palace and Sheffield United. If you're interested in the African Cup of Nations, Morocco are 0-0 with South Africa, and Mali have beaten Burkina Faso. Can't say I'm interested in it, but some people will be. Play to your audience. Start, bench, sell, electrician, plumber or joiner. Well, I'd sell a joiner because that's just wood. I think a plumber and an electrician are more important, but with a plumber, you can turn your water off. I think I'll bench a plumber and start an electrician. I don't really know. Liam, thank you very much. Can we please get back to Arsenal, says Matt. No, it's a boring game and this is much better. RBO, Edwards for Liverpool, both amazing man managers and motivators with lots of passion and play heavy pressing midfielders. Who says no? Says Bin Bags. Thanks for your super chat, pal. And Newcastle on the attack have won another corner here. And they certainly have been, I'll say it again, the more adventurous side so far. And I can't deny it. Aston Villa. What's happening? You're normally better than this. What's going on, Aston Villa? Why are you not playing well at home? Corner to Newcastle here. What's the best book on football you've read, says David. I don't know. I don't know. I've read so many books about football and other things as well. The Arsenal canon says change the starting 11. Why? I don't do the starting 11. It comes through on the stats carousel. So, here we are. Tuesday night, Premier League football. 2-2 between Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. They're 43 minutes in. 0-0 here, half an hour in. 0-0 between Arsenal and Forest, 56 minutes in. 0-0 between Fulham and Everton, half time. But shock horror, or shock happy, if you're a Luton fan or a supporter of Luton, they're 3-0 up at home to Brighton. It's half time. It's absolutely incredible. As Gary Neville would say, not Gary Neville, as Gary Barlow would say, it's absolutely fantastic, Mark. Absolutely incredible. It is. And what's more incredible is Newcastle are actually looking like the more likely team to score. And they're going to score. What a block. What a block by Longley. As Sean Longstaff came powering to shoot it home. He blocks it. But Newcastle are the better side here. I feel there's going to be a goal in a minute. I really, really do. And if you're a fan of the podcast, by the way, Goldbridge said Eze would score tonight. He's only gone and scored twice. He's only gone and scored twice. That means I'm 2-0 up. I'm trying to clarify what Will got. And I will clarify it. He's not replied to my tweet. Ball over the top there. So I had Eze, Hoyland, Watkins, De Bruyne and Richarlison to score. He had Neto, Foden, Nunez, Bowen and Kulusevski. I don't think any of them are even playing tonight. He's got Branthwaite for Everton as well. He better not score. And I've got Gabriel. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe. I'm with you. It could happen. I've just been told that there's another Rashford story leaking at 10:30 tonight via The Sun. Take it with a pinch of salt. We'll see. If you know, you know. We'll see. Apparently there's been a dodgy VAR in the Fulham-Everton game as well. Robinson, the left-back for Fulham, has handled it and no penalty has been given. Not seen it. Don't know how controversial that is. But if anybody has, by all means, let us know in the chat. Thanks everyone who's tuning in on TikTok as well. You're very, very welcome. Shavan says, wish we could send super chats, but sadly we can't from the Caribbean. I don't think you can on TikTok anyway. A report saying Rashford had been fined 650k, says Brandon. Yes, it's probably the biggest fine in Premier League history. 2 weeks' wages. We just had another shot from Gordon here, who's in my fantasy Premier League team. Could have had 2, deflected over that. And big up the Villa. And Jamie says, I love you. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you. It means a lot. And going to Wolves away on Thursday. I'm worried about it, to be honest. Hard game, says Buzz. Yeah, I've just done the preview over on the United Stand YouTube channel. I've gone 1-1, but I don't disrespect Wolves at all. I think there'll be a tough proposition. I really, really do. Let's have a look at Sean Atwood's giving us a super chat. Hold on. It's a goal, and it's Newcastle. I knew it was coming. It's been coming, and it's in. It's Shah, and it's 1-0 to Newcastle, and it's bloody been coming. I've been saying it for a long time. That goal has been coming. They've been the better side. I don't know what Villa are up to. 1-0 Newcastle, and it's certainly been coming here. It's just a corner, and they just don't look. It's been coming, and it's deserved. The cross comes in. I mean, he basically just passes it into the empty goal. He sort of pulls Douglas Luiz out the way. Yeah, that'll be a goal. There's not going to be any foul involved for that. That's a good goal. 1-0 to Newcastle. It will stand. 32 minutes gone. They've been the better side. I've been saying this for a long time. We've been saying for about 20 minutes that I feel that that goal's going to come, and there it is. Big up Goldbridge. I always watch United Stand. Big up Will Connolly. Thank you very much. Swiss power, says Jonas. If PSG buy Rashford, will Rashford go? Says Sean. Well, if they bought him, he's got to go, Sean. Give Villa 5 United players and take 5 from Villa, says Sean. And if you didn't follow football, which other sport would be your favourite, Mark, says Tom. I really like snooker. I find it really therapeutic. I really like snooker. I'm going to watch that. I used to quite like watching the rugby. My mate doesn't even like rugby, and he messaged me last night and said that Netflix documentary about rugby is really good, so I'm going to watch that. Apparently, Sidemen have got something coming up on Netflix. I mean, I'm not surprised. I've said about the Sidemen, one of them will be Prime Minister. I mean, just if they want to get into politics, they will be. They're just massive. They're massive. Villa have been awful since Boxing Day. Emery tactics are awful. Ollie can't score. Our owners are worse than the Glazers, says the HPN. Oh, he's not happy. I thought you were living the dream. He's all on his own, though. Watkins up front. He needs some support. If you didn't have done that one, and I guess Kamara could be an option for United in the summer because Villa might sell players due to FFP, says Harvard. Start, bench, sell, Stallone, Arnie or Seagal. Oh, I'll sell Seagal. He's a prat. And between Arnie and Stallone, it's close. I'd probably start Stallone because I prefer him, but I really do like Arnie. Good question, Padge. With De Zerbi not doing well, should Liverpool still pursue him, says Peng. Oh, United fans bloody love De Zerbi. I don't want us to go anywhere near him. Yazir says, Mark, what's the best aftershave? I don't know which one to buy. I never remember the name of it, but I've actually got it here. So, there's 2 I wear. Platinum August by Chanel and Eros by Versace. It's 2-0! Oh my God! I've just missed the goal looking at aftershave. You prat. I look a right idiot now. Why didn't Goldbridge see the goal? He was looking at aftershave. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. 2-0 to Newcastle. What's going on in football tonight? Luton are beating Brighton 3-0. Another corner. It headed away. Gordon shoots. It's the bar. Could be an offside on this. Could be an offside on this because I'm pretty sure... Well, no, it comes off a Villa defender, so it won't be, will it? Won't be offside. Shaw's got his second goal. Imagine if I had Shaw on Goldbridge as my defender. I mean, there is interference, but it's not... I don't know the rules. So it comes off a Villa defender and Shaw comes back from... Is he active? He's surely got to be active when that shot is taking place. Does the deflection make it onside? Over to the boffins. Yeah. Well, we're in the VAR room and we don't have a fucking clue. So we're just going to toss a coin on it. But we'll take a minute to do it to make it sound like we know what we're on about. Yeah. I don't know. The shot from Gordon, Shah is offside. But the deflection probably makes them not offside. And the goal is given. The goal is given. There we go. There we go. The goal is given. This is an awful evening for Emery, says Shirley. It is. It is. It is. Who do you want to win the Asian Cup? I don't care, Son. Mark, you've been catching a lot of stick on United stand comments last couple of days due to Rashford stands. Can you talk on that, says Robert? I can talk about anything. I'll happily talk about anything. People just get angry when people have a different opinion, but it's life. I don't play for likes, obviously. Villa, well, to me, Newcastle look... I mean, can I just take a moment here? And I will. Can we just say for a moment here that Aston Villa have got a great home record, but Newcastle have still got loads of people out. Arsenal are winning 1-0, by the way. We've got a goal for Arsenal. Jesus has scored. Let me tell you about it. This is a big goal for Arsenal. A very big goal for Arsenal. They needed to break the deadlock. I think they miss a striker. He's put it in the back of the net. Just quickly checking that Will hasn't got Jesus. Where does it come from? It's a quick throw in. He's doing it all on. Oh, that Forest keeper's crap. How many goals has he cost them this season? He's rubbish. He's really bad. He's so bad. I mean, this is the guy who was in goal for the Tony kick and just stood there going, oh, okay. Yeah, he ain't good enough for the Premier League. No way. No way, no way. I mean, look, fair play to Arsenal. But Villa here are struggling. I'm going to go back to the Villa game because I'll be stunned if Arsenal don't win it now. Not snooker. What's going on in the snooker? I like that. The German Masters, there's about 7 tables all in a circle. Oh, that'd be great to watch that. You could keep your eye on lots of different tables. See, the Germans, they've always got it right for efficiency. Well done. I love snooker. Whoa, what's going on? What have I done? Oh, there we go. Yeah, Villa are in trouble here. They're in trouble here. Terrible keeping by the Forest goalkeeper, but a great goal for Arsenal. They needed that to break it down. Rank 1 to 3, who you'd prefer at Man United? Ange, Howe or De Zerbi? Out of those 3, Liquid Gaming, if I had to replace Ten Hag, I mean, just for the pure personality, I'd probably say Ange is my number 1 at the moment. Eddie Howe would probably be ahead of De Zerbi at the moment. I think De Zerbi's stock is falling. You know, he's a hipster coach who has had 1 good season. I still think he's a good coach, but start, bench, sell. United 95-96, United 99-0, United 08-09. So, I'm not doing these sort of things. You're making me think too much. It's 4-0 to Luton. It is 4-0 to Luton. It fucking is. Oh my God. I can't speak. I can't speak. I've got Esteban. I mean, I understood 2-0 and I thought Brighton will come back. He's took Esteban off as well for Lamptey. Oh my God. That is a disaster. That is an absolute... I think Isaac's injured for Newcastle as well. That's a disaster for them. Oh, you've got to feel for Eddie Howe, haven't you? I mean, he's up against it. And they're about to lose another player here. It is 4-0 to Luton, by the way. It's been confirmed. What a night. What a night. It's 2-2 between Sheffield United and Palace at half-time. They're back playing in the second half, and Luton have just made it 4-0. They're definitely going to win. Breaking news. Goldbridge says Luton will probably win. You'll be lucky to get hold of Will at the moment. He'll be topless in the Luton car park, ready to wash the players' cars with this scoreline, says Lee. You're absolutely correct. JJJ, I would go with... it's hard to say out of those three because they're not the classics, are they? Mark, stop trying to keep everyone together. Rashi owns United, says Lee. Best front three for you, Mark. Bale, Benzema, Cristiano, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, or Salah, Mane, Firmino. Love the show. I'll go always the one with Ronaldo in it. Shocks. Please come to Canada. Do you play soccer too, by the way? Says Hen. Yeah, we call it football. Thanks, everybody. Still 3-0 for Luton. The goal's been ruled out for offside. Lots going on. Thanks everyone who's on TikTok as well. A few people giving us a follow, which is appreciated. Steve Body says, how was the pothole? Double puncher. If you listen to the podcast, you'd know. Double puncher. Yeah, double puncher. Got forced off the road because I was in a little car. And went into a pothole and double punctured it. It's nearly half time here, so we'll go back to the Arsenal game in 3 minutes. Ben has said he's just had an interview and he thinks he did well. It's an internal matter, marks to Stokey. Liv says, I loved the podcast on Spotify today. Thanks everyone who's supporting the podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football. You can check it out on Spotify and iTunes. What's happening to Villa here? Wake up. I don't know. I mean, look, HPN said there before as a Villa fan, we've been crap since Boxing Day. And Newcastle have just done a tactical job on them again. Do you play most boring style of football in the Premier League? Says Saham, talking about United. Probably one of them at the moment, yeah. It's not been great to watch this season. I'm hoping it's going to get better with our players back. Are you impressed by Luton this season, says Shahan? Well, I'm impressed by this scoreline. Thoughts on Nunez going to be the new Firmino, says Messiah. I've always been a fan of Nunez, even though I'm a Man United fan. If you could live anywhere other than the UK and Ireland, where would you live, says Noah? I'd probably live in Mallorca. I don't know what it's like in the winter, though. Ooh, goal for Arsenal, I think. I've got another goal. We're going to go live to the City Grounds. And it looks like it is a goal. And it is Saka. Saka's scored. And I've got him in my FPL. And neither me or Will have got him in Goldbridge, so that's even better. Let's have a look at this goal then. That'll be the 3 points for Arsenal. It's a big 3 points for them as well. 18 minutes to go here. Bad ball out from the defence. Ends up in a 4v2. Saka's unmarked on the back post. Gets it out of his feet. And a nice finish on his right foot. Sean Atwood says, I interviewed Ben. He's not getting the job. Yeah, good finish by Saka that. Keeper can't do much about it. Gets his fingertips on it. Gets his feet right. It's a good low finish. You're not stopping that. I think at 1-0 it was going to be 3 points to Arsenal. And I certainly think it will be now. We'll go back to that game in a minute because it's nearly half time. What's going on tonight? You know, Sheffield United doing very well at Palace. It's 2-2 now. Luton battering Brighton. And Newcastle would not have been fancied in this game at all. Have been the better side. Isak's had to come off, though. Another injury. And... but they are 2-0. I mean, look, Newcastle on paper should not really be winning this game, but They are. They are. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, by the way. We are closing in on 1.1 million, and we were very, very close to, well, we're 30 away from 99,000. This could be a big chance for Villa, but Watkins or somebody is offside, so it won't be a big chance at all, and it will go back as an offside. And not 100% sure that he was offside there. Should they have not played on? Oh, Newcastle had won the ball anyway, to be fair. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just play on. Play on. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok, by the way. How does Eddie Howe never not get slated for their league position, says Gurr. Well, Isak is injured. Yes, Henry's gone off. And I think Eddie Howe does a great job with Newcastle. I think he's had a lot of injury problems this season, as have a few clubs. But when everybody's fit, they are up for it, aren't they? When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Apparently now it is 4 to Luton, so it should have been 5. It is 4 now. What are Brighton doing? I'm just watching this corner for Villa. So what, if Villa get a goal back, it's going to be a great second half. It's another cross in. Watkins is there. It's going to be another corner. 4-0. And it's a hat-trick for Adebayo. So if you had Adebayo in your team, it's 4-0. And I tell you what, anybody who wants sold De Zerbi as their next coach, maybe have a think. Maybe have a think. This is a massive upset, says Gems, for Luton. Well, corner for Villa here. Can they get back into this game? We're just about to hit half-time. And he's just headed it over the bar, John McGinn. Notice what I've been talking about, though. Look at how they're crowding the keeper here, because you can now. All over the goalkeeper. But McGinn heads it over the bar. Probably should have been looking to score there. Arsenal Cannon says he has got Adebayo in his team. Do we believe him? I don't know. Half-time, Newcastle against Arsenal. Newcastle 2-0 up against Villa. We'll go down to Arsenal and see what's happening there. They're 2-0 up, of course, as we go into the final minutes. Aberdeen are 1-1 with Lee, with somebody. Skibby-doo. No interest. None. Thoughts on Belfast bartender interview, says Thomas. Oh, okay. Look, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of what Marcus Rashford did, but he invited that waitress out for a night out with him and his mates. She said yes, and then she's gone out, probably had a load of free drinks, and then decided the next day, I'm selling my story to the Sun. There's a word for people like that, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Rashford's in the wrong. He's in the wrong, but he's made a dream come true. Do you want to come out with somebody who's really famous? Yes, I do. And then the next day, on the phone to the Sun. Not good enough. Not good enough. I don't think it's good. Opportunistic is a nice word, Toffer. There's other words. There's other words for it. It's deceptive and ungrateful. I could combine a few words that are basically bitch, little, ungrateful. But that would be rude. Yeah. Lalad says, Kettle Black. Mate, I would not go out on a night out with somebody and then tell the whole world what happened. In fact, I am in contact with quite a few people, and I've never displayed or betrayed any of their confidences. I think it's bang out of order to do that. Bang out of order. Rashford's in the wrong, but it's bang out of order to do that, in my opinion. Footy World is on TikTok. He says, do you think we should sell Rashford? I think we should wait till the summer. Remember that there's a rumour going round on Twitter tonight that at 10:30 there's more stories coming out about Rashford. So, oh, look what I've just done. But I've been on a night out in Belfast. That was a great time. That was a great time. Absolutely fantastic. I think Rashford should be sold. What's the score? It's 2-0 to Arsenal with 10 minutes to go. It's 2-0 to Newcastle at half-time at Villa Park. We'll be watching the second half soon. And it's 4-0 to Luton against Brighton. It's 2-2 between Crystal Palace and Sheffield United. And still 0-0 between Fulham and Everton. So, some good fixtures. I am doing tomorrow night what I would describe as a massive game. It's Liverpool against Chelsea, and we will be live for that tomorrow night. We can laugh at De Zerbi, but what a job Edwards is doing at Luton. Out the relegation zone as it stands. Who would have predicted that? And breaking news, Will has just messaged me on WhatsApp saying, Jammy Git. He's worried. He's worried because the forfeit on the podcast for losing Goldbridge at the end of the season will be viral. I will make sure it's viral. I will post it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube constantly to make it go viral. Basically, Goldbridge is a game we play on the podcast, and at the end of the season, the person with the lowest points is getting an already predetermined forfeit, which will make either of us look a complete twat. And everybody will laugh at them. Oh, I tell you what, that would been a great goal by Trossard. He's cut inside, he shot, and if he'd scored this, it wasn't that far off. William says, what the fuck is Brighton doing? I know. I like Brighton as well. But, yeah. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Liam on TikTok just called me Specky. I'd rather wear glasses than not wearing, mate. They help me see. I tell you what, Shah's brace is amazing, Shora. And I wish I'd had him in my FPL. Liam says, what about contact lenses? I don't like putting anything in my eye. Gur says, how do we know when you're live on TikTok? Well, this week I've just been doing matches, so I'll do it next 2 nights. I'll be live for the Chelsea trip to Liverpool and Man United Wolves on Thursday. I'm just trying it out at the moment. I quite like having the live chats going around off both, so. Trossard is great, says Mommy. United Nate says, go on the piss with Marcus. I couldn't encourage that, and he wouldn't invite me anyway. Corner to Arsenal. Cross comes in. Keeper grabs hold of that. I mean, statistically, Arsenal have dominated this game. They're not going to give up a 2-0 win. Can we do an either-or on Hwang Hee-chan against Mitoma, says Fire Guy. I'm just going to whack this on the poll on YouTube. I mean, I think I know who will win, but I've got to say, Hwang Hee-chan this season has been a absolute FPL legend. Whereas Mitoma's just not been at it this year, has he? I mean, he won't be at it today because he's at the Asia Cup. But United are down to 9th at the moment, says Glenn. Why? Who's done it? Who's put us down to Newcastle? Fuckers. You Geordie pricks. No, they're playing well, Newcastle. They deserve it. I think we all expect a Villa bounce back in the second half. But they've got all the bounce of a brick at the moment. A few people asking me, like, Liverpool for life, what are your opinions on Klopp leaving? There's plenty of opinions on Klopp leaving. You can check the podcast out, Goldbridge Saves Football. But my opinion is I'm actually still quite sad about it. I think losing Jurgen Klopp from the Premier League is a sad thing. But I understand it. I respect it. Another shot from Saka. That's over the bar. Dan Burn for England thought, says Matt. It defies logic, Dan Burn at left back. I always think surely he's going to get exploited by somebody who's a little bit quicker than him. But he does a very, very good job. HCat95's an Arsenal fan, says get in there. Ooh. We're back. I'm just stretching my back out here if you're not aware of my streams. I'm at that age where lower back pain's a problem. The poll is very close between Mitoma and Hwang Hee-chan. 1-3 purely finishing. Son, Salah, Haaland. I think Haaland's the best finisher of the three. In a one-on-one, I'd back Salah over Son, to be fair. So I'd go Haaland, Salah, Son. Sounds like a different language, doesn't it? Haaland, Salah, Son. Do you think Liverpool could win it all this season, says Joshy? I don't think they'll win everything they're in, no. I don't know what... I expect them to win 2 out of the 4. I just don't know which ones. I think if Liverpool want to win the league, they've got to beat Chelsea tomorrow and they've got to beat Arsenal on Sunday. If they win both those games, I think it will really knock the wind out of Man City, who are going to win for the next month or so, looking at their fixtures. Rian says, do you think Spurs will get top 4? Well, it's definitely going to be Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City. So I would say that there's a chance that... I'd say Spurs over Villa look more likely at the moment. I've not been impressed with Villa at all tonight. Start, bench, sell, stomach, bowels, bladder, says Tracy. I don't fucking know. I've got no relationship with any of them. They just do stuff. I don't know. Oliver says, with the window basically shut, who do you think gets the European spots? I think Villa could be vulnerable to drop out the top 5, but I think Spurs, Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool are gone. So those 4 spots are gone. I still think 5th and 6th could be up for grabs. I don't fancy Brighton this year. I really, really don't. In fact, let's get the... let's just put that up on the screen for people so I can do this on YouTube anyway. So if you pause that... yeah, I think the top 4 will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City and Spurs in whatever order. And then 5th and 6th, I don't think West Ham will be there. Villa could be there but might drop. I don't think Brighton will be there. I think 5th and 6th is going to be between Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea and Man United. Luke says, how are Luton 4-0 up against Brighton? Well, yeah. And Captain Deadpool says, Joe Gomez for England. He can play right back, centre back and left back. Joshy says, who's going to win the Champions League? At the moment, I'd still say Man City. Neil Adkins has just gifted a membership on That's Football YouTube channel. You're a legend, mate. And Fire Guy won it. There you go. You got your badge in, mate. Was having a great day until turning on Villa. Devastated. Playing long balls onto Dan Burnt's head, says Jack Wheeler. And they're exploiting your high line. Could be a goal here. It is a goal for Forest. The clean sheet for Saliba has just disappeared. I'm gutted. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. FPL points in the bin. And it's Saliba's fault as well. Crap defending. Can't complain. I can't complain about that. It's Saliba who misses the header. It's not Gabriel's fault. It's Saliba's fault. Who do I think is going to replace Xavi, says MJ. Well, who do we think is going to replace Xavi? I think it's probably going to be... Oh, they're looking at VAR. Just for FPL. Yeah, he's on. What are they looking at? He's on. That's a fucking... What are they... What are these VAR prats doing? Fucking miles on. Absolutely miles on. You can tell by the bloody... You can tell by the grass. I can't believe they're even checking this. I can't believe they're even checking it. Waste of time. Get on with it. That's horrific. That's a horrific waste of VAR's time. Oh, they might have been looking at a foul now. To be honest, I think it is a foul, but they don't get given. I think that is a foul. Just don't know why Saliba doesn't appeal it. Yeah, it's given. It's 2-1. Where's the next Fergie coming from? British ones only. Think Pep goes back to Barca this summer in place of Xavi unless Man United can steal him as well, says Akash. Yeah, we won't be getting Pep there. Cole, thank you very much. He's sending lightning bolts. Thank you, Cole. Could be a nervy finish here for Arsenal if Forest start pumping long balls. Brighton have won 3-16 in the Premier League. It's terrible, says Brad. Brighton smacked up your team 3 times in a row, says Gazzy. Yeah, but my team didn't get smacked up by Luton 4-0. Why do people walk into big traps like that? You're getting smashed by Luton, mate, 4-0. And you're trying to win, we beat the Man United Cup. 4-0 to Luton. Own it. What do you think of Sean Dyche, says Jake? I like Dyche. I think he'll keep Everton up. But Fulham 0-0. There's still 13 minutes. Could be a late winner there. Statistically, I think when I checked last, Everton were the team on top. They've had... No, they're not. 68% possession for Fulham. 20 shots to 13. 4 shots on target to 3. Are we back for the other game yet? Yeah, they're just about to kick off in that game, but I'm just going to stay with this one a little bit longer because there's 3 minutes to go, and I'm intrigued to see this corner. I mean, if Arsenal punch it away, Raya, Gibbs White, good block. This could be a nervy. He's done. Oh, it's a save for Raya. It could have been. Could have been. But it wasn't. Ow. I've got a spot right on the top of my ear there. What is it? Yeah, nervy few minutes here for Arsenal. They're checking for a VAR. What are they checking for? God, they could be looking for a VAR penalty here. Don't think so. Don't think so. Can you name a player for an edit? Says somebody on TikTok. How's about Chris Wood? It'll do really well. Just do Ronaldo. I had Gabriel in FPL and Nottingham scores in the 89th minute, says Vigo. Hi, Gracie, says Miri. Opinion on Rashi, says Jay Footy. I mean, I've had enough opinion on it, really. I just want to move on. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about this rumour going around that there's more stories coming around at 10:30. That's what worried me about that girl that was out with him doing that interview. You'd be so pissed off about that. But this is the risk, isn't it? So he's gone out with some girl in Belfast, and they've done a tell-all, which is not a sexual tell-all. It's just I went out with him and he had some beer or tequila. But I just think those sort of things can open the floodgates to other people who go, I was out with him a few weeks ago and this, that and the other. It just takes one and they all come. Because what will happen is they'll have seen that girl's done it first and earned money, and they'll think, well, what have I got to show for it? I want some money as well. My timestamp is not right for the Newcastle game. I need to set it up for you now. Can Villa get back into this? He says. Not based on that first half. We're in 47 minutes, and it's Newcastle who have the opportunity to whip a cross in here as well. That's right now. Newcastle still on top. Martinez comes and claims it. RG says, Hoyland hat-trick incoming on Thursday, by the way, Mark. I'll bloody love that. I'll bloody love that. It's going to be a tough game for United. Still 0-0 Everton, Fulham. Still 2-2 Crystal Palace, Sheffield United. Still Luton 4, Brighton 0. That game is definitely going to be a win for Luton. 2-0 up after 5 minutes. De Zerbi was never good enough, says Vince. He took over a good Brighton side and he capitalised. This is not recency bias at all. Villa just looked toothless to me. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? I think he's given a foul on the keeper. The Pravka and Watkins going in together. Let's have a watch back of this. Ball goes in. Slide rule pass. Watkins is there, but he's... Oh. I don't think the keeper's done anything wrong. Watkins gets there first. And it's a sort of a 50-50, to be fair. I just had to Google something here, because Jackie G says, you've seen they might have found Amelia Earhart's plane. And I thought I was right, and I've just Googled it. It was a plane that went missing in 1937. Tom says, do you think this result will disrupt Villa's home record in future games? Well, I think it will do, because the way Newcastle have sort of dismantled Villa's game, they've played, they've neutralised Villa's attack to virtually nothing, and then they've really it might be 5-0 against Brighton, and then they've attacked really well by exploiting that Villa high line. Dubravka's injured here, so we'll just keep waiting to see if he's going to be coming off or not. Yeah, but look at that. Newcastle are just much the better team here. Is there anything going on in the other game while we're waiting around here? Forest against Arsenal is finished 2-0. Good win for Arsenal, 2-1. Two 2-1 to the Arsenal there. First game finished of the evening. Paul says a plane was actually found in the Tottenham trophy room. Well, no one's going to find that. 3-0. Oh, it's gone in. It's gone in. I thought he'd stopped it. This is incredible. 3-0 to Newcastle. Murphy has scored. And Moreno has put himself in the net as well. What is going on tonight? I never would have predicted Luton to be beating Brighton 4-0. And I never would have predicted Newcastle to be 3-0 up after, 50 minutes? Just absolutely dreadful. Fenix says it. Aston Villa are awful. Newcastle on fire. Demolition job by Newcastle so far. And I think this might end up with an assist for Gordon. No, he won't. He's going to pass it, isn't he? Yeah, no assist. Well, this is what can happen sometimes. You've got an amazing record, and it goes and disappears violently. Almiron could have been playing in Saudi Arabia. He's just whipped a lovely cross in. And Moreno maybe should have stopped it, but couldn't move his legs quick enough and ended up whacking the post. Crystal Palace have scored 3-2. Elise. That's 2 goals and an assist for him. Two assists and a goal for Elise. 3-2 to Crystal Palace. Release clause around £50 million. Someone's going to activate it. Someone's going to activate it. Joe says, is Villa a good result? Losing, is that a good result for Manchester United? Well, I think it's a good result for anybody who's chasing them. I think it's going to take Villa out of the title race argument, isn't it? And maybe start dragging them back into a top 5 argument. I don't know why it's not changed it to 3-0, because it is 3-0. I don't control that. This is a stats carousel, so I don't really understand why it's not changed it. Let me see if I can get it to do it. It's done automatically. West End girls. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Just turn it off and turn it on. It's always the way, isn't it? Turn it on and off. Right, I'm going to move that off and that off now. And start that. There we go. Yeah, Villa would have 43 points and Newcastle would have 32. I mean, it's still an 11-point gap. You can say, oh, it's a bad result for Villa, but it's still an 11-point gap between Newcastle and Villa, even if Newcastle win, which is looking likely. Just shows you the job Villa have done so far. Thiago Brown says, if Man United buy Elise, that's 250 million spent on right wingers. And have you considered doing a video on Man United's under-18s? They just beat Liverpool today. Some exciting players coming through, says Wayne. No, I think it's great. It's great what they're doing, but I don't really focus on that because, in my experience, people get very excited about young players, but until they hit the first team, you just never know. You know, we've always got the next Scholes and the next Beckham in the youth team, and then you never hear of them. So, you know, it's great what they're doing, but you know, the next step is to get in that first team, isn't it? Newcastle are honestly like a lucky packet of crisps now, says Wernick. And, oh, well, that means. And Man United news, Rashford and Ferdinand are rotten eggs, says Nathan. That's your news, Nathan. Can you get a shout out? Says Manchester. You can. I can't see what the rest of your name is. Oh, Manchester United fan. There we go. Opinion on Greenwood. Yeah, not talking about that. B6. Well, I'm a little bit disappointed by this game, if I'm being honest. I really did think Villa would be better than this, and you've just got to give the credit to Newcastle. Football Davina says, do you think United will beat Wolves on Thursday night? I think it'll be a draw, but we could really do with a win. Man United are just the great unknown. We've got some good players back now, but you just don't know. The thing about Aston Villa, for me, from a tactical point of view, is they consistently play a high line. And that's great, but he played them on the opening day and Newcastle destroyed them, and they've come to Villa Park and they've done the same thing again. So tactically, Eddie Howe, with a depleted team, has come to Villa Park, which has been a fortress, and schooled Emery for the second time this season. Watkins, good ball to Diaby. But look at Newcastle. They've got all the numbers, and Watkins is not going to do anything from there. And it's good defending again from Newcastle. Are you considering to create an app for the United stand, or this is football? Says Harvard Egg. Not at the moment, no. What's this? Island Dad says armchair supporter. Do I look bothered? Who would you take as second striker in the summer, Mark? Says Will. I'd like to see some good scouting options, really. It's the whole point of bringing a sporting director in, isn't it? We shouldn't know who we're buying in the summer. We should be scouting numerous players. I'd like to see Manchester United start signing players like Brighton do and other clubs do that you don't really hear much about. Grace Sheridan says, which Italian team do you like? I've always been a big fan of Juventus, but I like Sampdoria as well. Just, you know, teams that I liked basically when I was growing up in the 90s. It's 4-0 between Luton and Brighton. I think they've had 2 goals chalked out from VAR reviews. 90 minutes plus 2. Fulham are still 0-0 with Everton. Crystal Palace are 3-2 up against Sheffield United with 16 minutes to go. And of course, it's 3-0 here between Villa and Newcastle. And I mean, look, it would be nice to see Villa do something as they're about to make a treble substitution. But Leon Bailey, Jacob Ramsey, 2 of the 3 coming on. Do you think Ollie Watkins can start for a top 4 club, and would you take him at United, said Sam? I've always said about Ollie Watkins, I would bring him to Manchester United to be that experienced backup striker. Diaby, not enough power as he rounds the keeper. It's easy to put it out for a corner. Hi, Mark. Hope to see Manchester United in the FA Cup when Bristol City beat Forest, says Think Escape. Yeah, I think you're going to struggle to win that at the City Ground. I think you had your chance in Bristol. But I'd rather play Bristol than Forest, definitely. Whoa, whoa. Cross comes in from Villa, headed away, and Newcastle look to break again. What's Villa's next game? Does anyone know what Villa's next game is? I know they've got we've got them a week on Sunday, but there's a game at the weekend, isn't there? Jack's got a horrible cold at the moment, Mark. Any advice on how to get better quick? I'm stunned. They've got Sheffield United next, apparently, and that'll be away. Thank you very much to Ashley and Mr. Meeseeks. Thank you very much. I'm amazed, and Nathan as well, I'm amazed I haven't had a cold. Absolutely amazed. I normally always get one in January, but maybe it's healthy living, healthy lifestyle. I haven't really eaten much crap, and I've had lots of sleep in January, so... Diaby comes off, Kamara comes off, Tillemans comes off, Bailey comes on, Zaniolo comes on, and Ramsey comes on. Is it going to be enough to get them back into this game? 1 goal can become 2, can become 3. I don't think it will, but, you know, who knows? Who knows? Shrama says, when are you coming to Australia? Oh, well, I'd love to come. Steve-O says, talk sport again tomorrow. Don't think I'm on tomorrow, no. And I think I'm back on Saturday night for the Saturday night call-in. I'd like to see Villa get 1 back. I haven't got any Newcastle defenders. I've got Anthony Gordon in my FPL and he's done fucking nothing. So... And I've got Ollie Watkins in both FPL and Goldbridge from the podcast, so that would be nice. But it doesn't look like he's going to score. Have you seen the Sun's article from 9 PM tonight, says Jordan White? I haven't. But I will let everybody know what it is. Just watching Villa put a cross in and it's cleared. No, I can't find it at the moment. I will try and find it. Apparently Ezzy's got injured in the Palace game. Elise's goal was fantastic, by the way. Edge of the box. Lovely goal. I can't be too greedy, as he's got me 2 goals, so... Callum says, Mark, honest answer, McTominay or Fellaini? I think it's got to be Fellaini, hasn't it? I mean, I did have a think, but I think it has to be. There's a shot for Watkins straight at the keeper. Right, I've got a link to this article now. Big shout out to Matthew McFadden. Okay. And basically the article is in the Sun. So, Man United squad tired of Rashford's selfish behaviour and distant star faces battle to win them back over. Marcus Rashford faces an uphill battle to win over Man United dressing room. He was previously regarded as one of the team's leaders and was surrounded by pals including Pogba, Lingard, Sancho and Williams. But they've all gone, and when the manager first arrived, he made a beeline for Marcus and made it clear to him just how much he rated him. He helped him get his form back and put in a string of really good performances. Last season, Rashford. I mean, to be honest, I feel it's a bit like Matthew's just said to me, it feels a little bit like it's a hit piece on Rashford. It's a bit of an opinion piece. I don't think there's anything that I'm too fussed about in there, to be honest. And it's in the Sun. Dubravka's down injured here. He's just strapping up his thigh. It's never good when you're getting that much of a strap in around your hamstring. Brighton are in the mud, says Oggy. Seabren says, do you support any Dutch teams? And so edits, thank you very much for following us. And UTV as well. No, I don't really follow the Dutch league. I've never really followed it massively. I'll watch Dutch teams if they're in Europe and they do well, but I've never really followed it. I'd be a liar. I did follow it a little bit for 6 months before we got Ten Hag. I must admit, I was watching a lot of Ajax games, but yeah, no, I've never really followed it. Jordan, I haven't had a look at that article yet. And do you think some people pay journalists for positive PR, says Ryan? I don't know whether they get paid. I've got no experience of that, but I think relationships are formed, definitely. I actually got approached today by somebody who asked me if we're in a relationship with Anthony, and I said absolutely not. I mean, I've been running a United independent fan channel for 10 years, and the amount of independent views and size we've built, I wouldn't ruin that by suddenly getting into bed with a player and giving them preferential treatment. That's not happening at all. And then you get accused. You get to a point where if you are positive about a player, apparently you're on the take. But no. For the podcast, best performance of one player, says Ollie. Has both Elise and Eze gone off injured, says Ghazi. And South Africa are beating Morocco. Get in. We are on our way to glory, mate, says Vernick. And hi, Mark. I love your podcast. I listen to it every Tuesday and Friday as soon as it's out. Do you listen to any other pods? Do you think you'll collab with any? Love how unbiased you are as well, says Callum. When the podcast comes out, I actually listen to it. I've never watched back any of my YouTube content, but I like listening to the podcast back because it's a duo. I forget about a lot of what we talk because it's just a conversation. So I do like to listen to that back. Do I listen to any other podcasts? Yeah, but not necessarily football ones. I mean, somebody was mentioning to me the other day about people are doing a lot of videos at the moment ranking football podcasts. And the reason it got mentioned to me is because somebody said you weren't ranked very highly in one of them, and then another one didn't even mention you. And I went, but why would you be surprised by that? I mean, look at the numbers. Look at That's Football. Look at United Stand. Look at Goldbridge Saves Football. They're massively viewed and listened to outlets. And all the ones that are smaller, quite rightly, are going to be bitter and jealous. That's why they don't rate it, because they want to be the thing that's rated. I ain't got a problem with that. Here we go. Matty Cash, big save by Dubravka. Big save. Better from Villa. 22 minutes to go. Bennett says, stop with the victim complex. No one knows you have a podcast. They just think that you do watch-alongs. Mate, Bennett, they definitely know we've got a podcast, because anyone who does a podcast constantly checks the podcast charts, and they'll certainly see us there. Newcastle will probably lose their next game, says Louise. I don't know who Newcastle have got next. Newcastle could really do with going on a good run. And I find the Newcastle story fascinating, because I've said for a while, the Callum Wilsons, the Dan Burns, the Sean Longstaffs, they're fantastically consistent players. But the Newcastle vision as the richest club in the world has to be to emulate Manchester City. And you'll never do that with people like those players. And probably not with Eddie Howe either. So, good shot by Gordon, just wide. So at what point will they change that? I don't know. Do you think Rashford will start on Thursday, says Cole? I don't think he will. I think he'll be on the bench, yeah. Newcastle have got Luton at home. It's a good chance for Newcastle to get some points then, isn't it? Here's Bailey in behind again. Good cross. Goal. What a goal. That's a great goal. Watkins and Bailey. 3-1. Lovely goal. Ball in down by the right-hand side. Whips a cross in. Watkins gets ahead of his man. And I've got him in Goldbridge. And I've got him in FPL. But this is all about Leon Bailey. What have we got? 20 minutes to go. 3-1. He's definitely onside there. Look, what I said about Dan Burn and a lack of pace. You're not offside. It's a great goal. That's a great goal. This is something I wish Manchester United could do. Provide service to the striker. Absolutely brilliant goal. It's going to be a long way back, but they've got a chance. 3-1. That's how you exploit Dan Burn. Newcastle do a very good job of protecting him from that ball in behind him. But Villa have worked the opportunity there. Well, let's wait and see what happens because Newcastle are on the attack now. No, he's giving the foul. That's a good goal, says Danny O. It's a great goal. A great goal. Morocco are losing to South Africa and they've missed a penalty in the AFCON. (3-1) Newcastle lead against Aston Villa. McLovin says, "Are you in the next Sidemen charity match?" You never know. You don't get told about that. Oh. He's giving it. Or is he offside? No, he's offside. They've given the offside. I thought it was going to be 3-2. But the flag's gone up. It would have been a goal for Watkins. Yeah, he looks offside. They'll check it on VAR. To the eye, he looks offside. It's a shame. But he does look offside. They'll have a look at it. It's 3-1, goal ruled out, but VAR will take a look at it. I think it's offside. Tyke Official Music, thank you very much for your super chat on YouTube. They're checking it, but this looks like it's offside to me. Josh says, "Keep up the good work. Love you, mate." Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate the support. And they're still checking this at the moment. The only thing I would say is sometimes, I mean, it doesn't look on, but sometimes the angle can be deceptive. No, that's off. That's off. Yeah, offside. Louise is off. She doesn't think they're going to come back. Liam says, "More time is spent than VAR than playing the game." Philip says that you've got to admit that Klopp is a Premier League legend. Matoma has ended up winning this battle with Hwang Hee-chan on the YouTube poll by 64%. 7,000 of you. I'm going to do another one. Let me think about another one. Either or. Bowen or Martinelli. There you go. Jaden said... Jaden, where were you? Jaden. No, it wasn't you. Warplane 45, Creed 94, Jaden Lewis. Opinions on the Arsenal game. Good result for them. Good result for them. And Jaden says, "Hi, it's my birthday today. Please say it would make my birthday. Please. Happy birthday, Jaden. Hope you've had a good one." Arsenal, job done. 2-1's a bit generous to Forest, really. I think 2-0 was the right score. But, yeah, they needed to win. Those sort of games can only be a banana skin, really, and to come away with 3 points will be big. And then there's that massive game on Sunday, isn't there, at the Emirates? Arsenal against Liverpool. Liverpool tomorrow against Chelsea. That's a massive game. We'll be doing a watch-along for that. Really, if Liverpool want to be winning the league, they've got to be beating Chelsea at home. But remember, drew with Arsenal at home, should have won. Drew against United at home, should be winning that. So Liverpool need to get the result against Chelsea tomorrow. What's going on in the midfield here? McGinn's going to pick up a yellow card. Why didn't he start Bailey, says Corrie. User 968733 says, what do you make of the Rashford circus? Well, I want it to go out of town now and just focus on football, really. That's what I want to see happening now, but obviously it's not always the way, and there are rumours that there's more stories coming out. I mean, I really hope that there isn't, because all it will be is, I was out with Rashford 2 weeks ago in China White and he was pissed, and you know, you just think, well, we sort of know he was out pissed last week as well. Like, it's not going to help us move on from a situation that I think we just need to move on from. Patrick O'Neill says, I don't normally comment, but I watch your content. Thank you very much. Thanks, pal. 13 minutes to go here. I mean, a lot of people say Rashford's got to go in the summer, but it's a bit like, I've seen people say Ten Hag's got to go. And then they talk to you about, like, replacements. And then those replacements aren't good enough. For example, De Zerbi should replace Ten Hag at United. No, he shouldn't. Graham Potter. No, he shouldn't. Like, it's just to save. And the thing with Rashford as well is, who's going to buy Rashford? He's on a massive contract on 300 and something grand a week. Who's going to buy him? So it's not always, in the real world, it's not always as easy as that, isn't it? Every game is a final. Come on, you Arsenal, says Rebellious. I think it's the same for Liverpool as well, which is why the game at the weekend is so big. I said it on the podcast today. That Arsenal-Liverpool game's coming at the wrong time. You need that at the end of the season. You don't need to be giving Man City a sniff. Yeah. Boris says, what's the benefits of becoming a member? You get your badge in the chat and support the channel. It's as simple as that. Nabil, thank you very much for being a member. PSG will take Rashford, he says, or she says. Going back to what Sam Singh says, does anybody think that Ollie Watkins could start for a top four club? Well, a top four club would be Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City. I think Ollie Watkins at Arsenal will do a better job than Aguero. I think that's exactly what they want. I think that's exactly what they need. He's obviously not going to start for Man City or Liverpool, but I think Ollie Watkins for Arsenal is exactly what they need. Just a pure striker. Chiefs into another Super Bowl. Mark's fuming. Says, Kush, I don't like the Chiefs. They just remind me of fucking Man City. I mean, I'm going to do a Super Bowl watch-along because I just enjoy doing it, but I hope the 49ers win. I really do. Will's trying to cheat on the old Going for Goldbridge podcast, saying that he had Adebayo. He didn't. I've just checked his list. Louis, I am looking at them. I am looking at TikTok as well. Liam says, I only hate the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift and how everything is about her. I never even... I've only just realised. I know Taylor Swift goes out with an NFL player, but I didn't know that he played for the Chiefs. Bai says, what's your thoughts on Solihull Moors? I'd love to see them get promoted, mate. Love to see it. It's very hard. Travis Kelsey says keen. Amrabat's got a red card, says watch it. Twat. He's Will, who I do the podcast with, has just sent me a screenshot of him watching this watch along on his laptop, and the comment was, "Evening wank done." Just makes you want to throw up, doesn't it? You ever feel you had imposter syndrome coming up? Says Tyler Wilson. I don't know what it is. Bakayo7 says, did you watch the Arsenal game? Yeah, we didn't watch all of it, but we watched the first half an hour of it, and then over half time, so we saw the goals, yeah. Sean OP says, hello from Australia, mate. Scouser and love your podcast. Yes, check out the podcast. It's a cracking episode today. Goldbridge Saves Football. Go and give it a listen after this. As I said before, I've started listening to podcasts just before I go to sleep instead of watching TV, because you don't get all the white lights. You just get audio. It's quite relaxing, whereas I find it hard to go to sleep after I've been on my phone or watched TV. Although I'm quite good at falling asleep watching TV, but then I end up staying up too late. M says, were you embarrassed watching United line up against Newport in the FA Cup? Oh, yeah, I was really embarrassed that we had to play FA Cup 4th round tie. It is what it is. We won the game, we go again. Got Wolves on Thursday night. Tyler Wilson says, imposter syndrome is struggling to feel like you belong as you're progressing to become better. I'd have to read about this imposter syndrome. Where do I think... McLovin says, where do you think Newcastle are going to finish in the Premier League? I think this is a fantastic win for them. And I tell you what, Villa, obviously losing this game. Crystal Palace are going to win 3-2, 90 plus 8. Fulham and Everton drew. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. Where do I think Newcastle are going to finish? Well, they'll finish above West Ham. That puts them into 6th. Can they catch Villa across? I mean, look, even though they've beat Villa twice, they're still 11 points behind them. It's going to be very, very difficult. Newcastle will start to get more players back. They're out of Europe. They've got Luton, Forest, Bournemouth before they play Arsenal. You'd expect them to win their next 3. They're still in the FA Cup. I think Newcastle are capable of going on a really good run between now and the end of the season. The question's going to be probably 5th or 6th. But to finish 5th, you're going to have to catch Villa. Brian says, do you like the snow? I love it. We never fucking get any. We literally never get any where I live. The UK used to get snow. We don't get snow anymore. Blame it on global warming or, you know, the Conservatives, but we just don't get snow anymore. We very rarely get cold. We get lots of rain, lots of wind. Welcome to the UK. As with all other modern syndromes, you were perfectly fine before you knew it existed, says Nick P. Lovely. It's Daniel says, it's my mum's birthday tomorrow. The first one I'm away at uni, says Daniel. Send her a lovely message in the morning and she'll get all, I nearly said wet. I mean, she'll be all crying. Which she will be. I'm really sorry, Daniel. I don't know. I shouldn't have told you what I nearly said, and I definitely shouldn't have said it. She'll be really happy if you message her first thing tomorrow morning. There we go. Toggim's just joined on TikTok and probably thinking, what did I join to? The famous Goldbridge foot in mouth is back. Fucking hell. Oh, I'm so sorry, Daniel. Enjoy your birthday and send your message to your mum, a really nice one. Lots of people talk about Rashford on TikTok and on the YouTube chat. Remember what I've been saying. Apparently, and I hope it's not going to happen, but apparently there might be something coming out tonight in the Sun. I hope not, because we just want to move on from it. Amrabat did get sent off in the AFCON as well. Rebellious Jay says, wet, wet, wet. Villa are not winning. Whoever asked that in the chat, Connor. They're definitely losing and they're definitely going to lose. Trippier's just gone down injured here. Ollie says, what's your opinion on the Luton match? Absolutely incredible result for them. Not only incredible to win, but also incredible to, boost your goal difference by so much as well. I was saying this before. I was listening to the radio, probably October, might have even been September, but let's say early October. And they had the chairman of Luton on. And he said, we're very comfortable with the plan that we've got. And we really, truly believe that in the second half of the season, we're going to start picking up points. And I just stuck with me because I was like, how can you be so organised strategically that you expect in the second half of the season that you're going to start picking up more points? And lo and behold, bad start, adjustment, but they have gradually got better and better, haven't they, Luton? And if they stay up, well, I tell you what the worrying thing for them is not for them, is for Everton and Nottingham Forest, is that 10-point deduction is problematic. Everton's 10-point deduction at the moment has them third from bottom with 18 points, and Luton are above them with 19 points. So, and Nottingham Forest are only a point above Luton. I mean, if Forest get that points deduction, they're down. They won't be coming back from that. I mean, Sheffield United are 9 points from safety. They're done. Burnley are 7 points from safety. So I don't see. I think Luton are the only one that's got a chance of staying up, and I think if Forest get that points deduction, they're down. If Everton get another one, you can't live on a 20-point deduction. You just can't. United fan here. We should get Ali back, says Liam. And Tiago said something about Daniel and his mum's. Yeah, we're not talking about that. Rebellious J says Mark is UK TV gold. Yeah, I don't want to get clipped up about Daniel's mum because it's his birthday tomorrow and it was a slip of the tongue. Hey, come on. Jude, we're just talking about that. Here's Almiron. If he cuts this back, it could be 4. Bruno Gomes. This will be 4. Great save, Martinez. 1-on-1. World Cup final vibes. Villa just haven't lived with Newcastle tonight. Better team. They've deserved it. And lovely play by Leon Bailey. He whips a cross in. But Newcastle have defended as well as they've attacked. And they'll clear that one away as well. Thanks everyone on TikTok who's been giving us a follow. Back on YouTube, we're so close to 99,000. We're only 10 away, so please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And when we hit 99,000, that means we're less than 1,000 away from 1.1 million, which is amazing for the channel. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, if you're on YouTube. Appreciate that. And thanks everyone on TikTok who's given us a follow. Shocking results tonight, On win, lose or draw, I reckon I'm in trouble. I really do. I definitely know I didn't go with Newcastle to win. And I definitely know I didn't go with Luton to win. I think I went with a Crystal Palace win. I wouldn't with an Arsenal win. I don't know what I did with Everton and Fulham. Foster's catching me up on that. I was way ahead. Zane says Arsenal masterpiece. I need to get win, lose or draw out so you know what we did. Might put that out tomorrow, actually. Shall I put it out tomorrow? Spurs are best says, why don't you read the chat? I've literally spent the last 2 hours reading chats, mates. It's what we do. But there's a lot of people chatting. Mark, I can't read that, Vernick. I don't know what it means. I can't read foreign languages because it could be something really rude. Villa with another cross. It's going to be... No, it's not going to be a corner. We've got 9 minutes added on here, but there's a lot of empty seats. It looks like the Etihad because there's a lot of light blue, but it's actually light blue and claret. And we can mostly see light blue. Eric says Villa are going to crumble. I think Villa are going to win the Conference League. I said that at the start of the season. I think Villa will win the Conference League and... Oh, another header won, but it's over the bar. From Longley. Thanks for all the super chats on YouTube as well, legends. And thank you to the new members. We've had 3 tonight, legends as well. And everyone who subscribed and followed us. The best stadium you've ever been to, says Liam. Old Trafford. Wheelbarrow says, I missed the game. What's happened to Villa? Crap, mates. Absolute crap. Newcastle have been the better team. It's not always the way it works in football, but from the first 20 minutes, we were watching it and we said, Newcastle look like they're going to score. They did score. They've been the better team. And it's a harsh reality for Villa, who have been so good at home. You wouldn't have thought it would be Newcastle that would come here and give them a drubbing. And they have. They have. Jude says it's his birthday on Thursday. Can I have a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Jude. Rasmus says we are 9th in the Premier League at the moment. I don't believe it. Here we are. We are 9th. But if we win, we'll be 7th. And if we lose, we could be 11th. Be positive. South Africa all the way, says Nathan. Yeah, they've beaten Morocco, haven't they? Morocco are out, says Favour. Anthony Gordon's just gone and got a yellow card now. So from an FPL point of view, that's absolute shit. Well, Villa have got Sheffield United next, so it's certainly bounce backable. Cross into the box. Newcastle have defended very, very well. News says, I'm a Brighton fan. This is an absolute piss take. I think there's a few fans feeling like that tonight. I think Villa fans and Brighton fans are probably feeling a little bit shell-shocked. I think both would have gone into the game thinking they're going to win. Jack D says, what about Luton? Jacob says, Mark, I saw your Rashford video and at first didn't agree, but as the video progressed, your arguments were solid, well put, and you changed my mind. A very pragmatic take without any emotions. Well done. Check the comments, Jacob. Fucking didn't go down well at all, this morning's video on United Stand. At all, but I stand by it. Still 4 minutes to go here. ASC says, would you take Vincent Kompany as United manager? No, for 2 reasons. 1, he used to play for City, and 2, he's shit. Gabriel says, I don't understand why it wasn't a handball on Robinson in the Everton-Fulham game. Well, I've only seen a still, and I can't understand it either. But Luton have got Newcastle next, Matt, at St James's Park. So I think for Luton, it's a bit like what Forest did last season. It's all about your home games. Focus on your home games. Jared Bowen has 53% of the vote against Martinelli and out either or. Basically, put Jared Bowen in any either or, and anybody who has watched That's Football for a while will know. The most famous either or we did was about 18 months ago, and it was Bowen against Kulusevski, and it got locked on 50-50 for about an hour. Who'd win in a fight, a gorilla or a bear, says Max. But I think a bear wins because it's got claws. Breno says, bullshit, Martinelli's way better. Matthew G, thanks for your super chat, mate. Christian Alan O'Brien says, do you think Klopp is leaving before the ship sinks? I think he's leaving because he's tired, mate. I'm actually getting tired now. I am actually getting quite tired now. I think I'm going to finish this and listen to a podcast and fall asleep. Which reminds me, check out Goldbridge Saves Football podcast. If you're not an ultra, check it out. Join the movement. You're very welcome. It's a good episode today. Cracking story about double denim and white trainers and the school disco. If you know, you know. What could have been? What could have been? I was ready to bust my moves and I was taken out in my prime. That's all you're going to get. You'll have to listen to the podcast to know what I'm talking about. Steve says, do you listen to Goldbridge Saves Football in bed? Oh, yeah, I listen to myself in bed. And, no. I'm not that much of a big head. But seriously, if you want to get better sleep, listen to podcasts before you go to sleep. No, there's none of the light on your eyes to keep you awake. It's audio, and I find it great for getting me to sleep. Zaniola's gone down injured here from a tackle with Liveramento. I mean, we don't need any more time added on, mate. Matt and Jenny says, Laura, yeah, if you know, you know. You know, you know. Al says, I lost my virginity listening to your podcast. I mean, literally, it's just not that sort of podcast. That is not the backdrop. That must have been a very depressing experience. What did you do it with? An animal? Hi, Mark. Would you like to see Klopp within another Premier League title before he leaves, or at least a trophy? Matthew G, as a Manchester United fan, I absolutely do not want to see Jurgen Klopp win a title for Liverpool to level up with our 20 times just because it would be nice and sentimental. You can swivel on it. I'd rather see him crying and not winning the title. You know, there's rivalry and there's respect, and rivalry has to come past respect. As much as I like Klopp and I think he's a character that will be missed, rivalry has to take over that. Sorry. ASC21 says, who would be your ideal United manager if Ten Hag leaves realistically? I don't know. I don't know, because I don't really think there is an ideal candidate out there, and I certainly don't think the De Zerbis and Graham Potters of this world are the right people. Can Chelsea beat Liverpool tomorrow? Well, we'll find out. I'm doing a watch-along of that tomorrow night. But that's tonight's action complete. A few shocks. Luton beat Brighton 4-0. Newcastle have gone to Villa Park and beaten them 3-1. It's a fantastic and deserved result for Newcastle. Arsenal won at Forest 2-1. Fulham drew with Fulham 0-0. No, Everton drew with Fulham 0-0. But Fulham played themselves. And they're playing with themselves. And Crystal Palace have beaten Sheffield United 3-2. That concludes the first night back of Premier League action. But we're tomorrow night live again. Thanks everyone for watching, and please do check out Goldbridge Saves Football. We've spoken about it a lot, but you don't know what it is until you listen to it on Shopify, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. Legends, I'll speak to you tomorrow.